Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we're being joined by Daniel Lohman, author of the upcoming book, Brand Secrets and Strategies. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. I appreciate you inviting me.
We're thrilled to have you. Are you ready to begin?
I am.
All right. Question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
Very simple. Just do it. And the reason I say that is because there's that mindset. Well, what do I do? Where do I start? How do I get going? And if you just start, it's like they say, by eating an elephant, you start one bite at a time. And so just start doing it, develop a rhythm, make sure that you have a schedule so that you're doing a little bit every single day or every single month toward your objective.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
The confusion around it, it's actually a lot easier than you would think, especially with Amazon and the tools that they have now. What I mean by that is that if you listen to some of the book publishers, you think you've got to go their path. Point being is that you can do a lot on your own. The software today is extremely easy to be able to do something in Word or iBooks, etc. So it's just about trying to figure out you don't know what you need to know. And so how do you get started?
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you're planning to use in your book launch that you feel is going to work well.
I am using or leveraging my podcast, the audience that I've built with my podcast and my YouTube channel. And so to answer your question, what I'm doing is I've got a bunch of people that are very interested in the book already. The MiniCourse is a nice addendum to it. Oh, I didn't mention that. I've got a MiniCourse that goes on, that attaches to it. And the idea behind it is that you get more insights, more strategy, more brand building ideas from the MiniCourse. So it complements the book itself. So to answer your question, being able to leverage the network that I've built plus social media, et cetera, is how I'm going to build this thing out. The other thing is that the books answer specific questions that young brands have in terms of how to build their audience and whatnot. And so I'll be able to address those specific questions in specific podcast episodes, et cetera.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
It's a book called Superfan by a guy named Pat Flynn. And the thing I love about it, good question, by the way, is that the book does an incredible job of painting a picture of, or illustrating or highlighting, whatever word you want to use, of what that unique person is, that persona that you're trying to attract. So challenge is that a lot of us use what I'd call insider language. But what the book does is it allows you to walk in the shoes of the person that's going to be listening to your book and address or speak to their needs specifically.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
Oh, actually, that's a tougher one. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for this one. Can you cut this out?
No, we're live. Let's just keep going. So.
Oh no, okay. Sorry about that. So, what is your favorite quote? Just do it, I guess. The Nike quote. I mean, it's pretty lame, but let's go with that. And again, it goes back to just start. Just do something. Grab life by the horns and go for it.
Well, Daniel, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks again for reaching out to me. My email address is dan@cms, the number C, letter 4, CPG. So it's CMS for CPG. The website is brandsecretsandstrategies.com. And Paul, I really appreciate you reaching out to me, and thanks for making time for me.
Daniel, thanks again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
I appreciate it.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.